Ever walked into a meeting where you feel you own the place and then spent next hour nodding because you didn't understand a single word? Yep, that was me. If you ever felt like confident queen from outside but mildly confused potato on inside, welcome. You are in a good company. Hey, welcome back to She Works It Out, the podcast where we celebrate big dreams, small wins, awkward silences, and everything in between. I'm your host Sonal, part-time professional, full-time overthinker, and someone who just realized self-worth has absolutely nothing to do with job titles or how well I fake smile during my performance review. Today's episode is about imposter syndrome or self-worth. You know, the real kind, not the one which is tied to your inbox or your productivity. It's that kind that doesn't wipe out because of your typo or ignored Slack messages. So grab your coffee, your dignity, and maybe a donut. Let's talk about what and why you already have enough. Even if you showed up to a work, your shirt inside out, that's okay. So let's get into it. So our first story today is about the compliment crisis. Why saying thank you is harder than it looks. So one time, my manager said, "Oh, great job on the project. You really worked great and your work stood out." Okay. And me, instead of saying thank you, I blurred out, "Oh, it was mostly luck and caffeine." Why? Because somewhere in my brain a voice screamed, "Don't act too proud, you will jinx it." But the truth is, I really worked very hard on that. I stayed up all night, I edited like maniac, I thought things through, and yet, when the moment praise arrived, I deflected like I was on a compliments dodgeball team. So the lesson here I learned is, accepting the compliment doesn't mean you are arrogant. It makes you a grown-up adult who knows their worth. My next story is about the meeting where I googled my way to glory. So fast forward few years later, I was in a high-stakes strategy meeting with some senior executives. All the buzzwords were flying around like synergy, KPIs, omni-channel touch point or something. I was nodding like, yeah, I am fluent, but I am not. Under the table, on my phone, I was whisper typing, what is omni-channel retail example? And what is difference between vision and mission? Because apparently they are not the same. So one person turns to me and say, "What do you think, Sonal?" And I froze. I literally froze. Then I say, well, if we align our messaging across all channels, we can create a cohesive experience that drive conversion and blah, blah, blah. Silence. And then everybody nod. Or maybe at least few person nod for sure. Okay. I still had no idea what I said, but it worked. So the lesson here is, everyone is faking a little. Confidence is 30% experience, 70% convincing yourself that you belong here. My third story is about, the LinkedIn spiral of doom. You ever scroll LinkedIn and suddenly feel like you are 87 steps behind? Scrolling LinkedIn and seeing the post like, "Oh, congrats to Jenny for becoming VP of Global Strategy at 27. Wow, good for her. That's cool." But meanwhile, I just Googled how to write an email without sounding desperate. Once I spent whole evening scrolling, comparing, panicking, and convincing myself I was failing at life because I hadn't launched a startup or gotten published or spoken to TechEd Talk in last 20 minutes. I called my friend and she said, "Hey babe, no one posts their breakdown on LinkedIn." So the lesson here is, social media is a highlight reel, Your worth isn't measured by promotion, titles, or post. And also, very important, LinkedIn should come with warning label and wine pairing. I mean it. My next story is about the mirror meltdown. So I once got up and got ready for work. I looked into mirror. I thought I will look sharp, but my mirror said, "You looked like a caffeinated raccoon in crisis mode." My eyeliner was uneven. There was a spot on my shirt. My brain whispered, "Everyone going to think that you don't have it together." But guess what? I walked into that meeting. I made a solid point. And someone said, "Oh, I look confident and composed." Was it the pressure maybe? Or was it delusional? Possibly. But also it was me showing up despite the spiral. So the lesson here is worthiness doesn't depend on how flawless you look. Confidence always isn't loud. Sometimes it's just quietly showing up while your brain is yelling some nonsense. My next one is about the feedback spiral, and this is one of my favorite ones. And I am sure, or maybe I think most of you experienced it. So I got a feedback once, and it said, "You could speak more in a meeting." Okay, so I did. Point taken. Next meeting, I made a point to share a couple of ideas. New feedback. Try not to dominate the conversation. Oh, I spiraled. My brain went haywire. See, you can't win. They are onto you. You are too much. You're not enough. You are a disaster in kitten heels. Then I talked to my mentor, and she said, "Oh, that feedback, it's gospel." No. She said, "That feedback, it's not a gospel." Yeah, that's what she said. "It's just information. Take it, what helps, leave the rest." Okay, now I get it. So the lesson I learned there is imposter syndrome feeds on overthinking. Get curious, not crushed. You are not a fraud, you are growing. My last story today is about the time when I taught a workshop I felt unqualified for. So I think I got asked to teach a workshop on leadership. I was like, me? The girl who cried during performance review? But yeah, why not? I prepped, I showed up, I delivered, and afterwards someone came to me and said, "Oh, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you." Wow. And I realized I don't need to be world's biggest expert. I just need to be honest and helpful. That's it. So the lesson here is you don't have to be perfect to be valuable. Your perspective matters, even if you are still figuring it out. So today, if you are doubting your worth because of a missed opportunity or your messy inbox or a weird pimple that showed up during your presentation, take a deep breath. Just relax. You are not behind. You are just a human. You are still fully, wonderfully worthy. And here's the deal. Imposter syndrome isn't proof that you are a fraud. It's proof that you care. So that you are stretching, that you are doing everything brave. So if your brain says you're not enough, respond with, "Thank you for your opinion, but I am fully booked and busy. Bye." Don't forget to follow or subscribe, not just because it helps the show, but because hitting that button feels like telling that algorithm, "Yes, I'm amazing, thank you." Got your own imposter story? DM me on Insta, send me by email, or Send me a smoke signal. I accept all formats. You are not alone. You are not an accident. You are amazing and you are working it just fine. Thank you for today. See you next time. Bye for now.